Before Finland even knew what a coin was, life was a bit more furry. Imagine trying to buy your morning coffee with a squirrel pelt. That was the reality. The ancient Finns operated on a barter system, a grand exchange of goods and services. A fine bearskin might get you a sturdy boat, while a basket of fish could be traded for some sharp arrowheads. It was a practical system, based on tangible value and mutual need. There were no pockets jingling with change, only the rustle of furs and the clatter of tools. This was the foundation of commerce, a direct negotiation of worth, long before the abstract concept of money arrived on these northern shores. Then came the Vikings. You know them, the ones with the cool boats and questionable helmets. Around the 8th century, these seafaring adventurers started sailing through the Baltic, and they brought more than just stories of distant lands. They brought treasure. Suddenly, shiny silver coins from faraway places like the Abbasid Caliphate and Anglo-Saxon England began to appear in Finnish soil. These weren't local currency. Finns didn't use them to buy bread. Instead, they were treated as raw material, valued for their weight in silver. People would chop them into smaller pieces, a practice known as hack silver, to make precise payments or craft them into beautiful jewelry. It was the first taste of a world connected by precious metals. The arrival of these foreign coins marked a slow but profound shift in how value was perceived. While barter remained dominant for centuries, the idea of a standardized, portable form of wealth began to take root. These dirhams and denarii, with their intricate Arabic calligraphy and portraits of foreign kings, were exotic and powerful. They represented a connection to a wider, wealthier world, a world of organized states and sprawling trade networks. For the people living in what would become Finland, these small pieces of silver were not just currency. They were glimpses into a future where commerce would transcend the simple exchange of one good for another. As the Viking Age waned, the flow of silver from the east slowed down, but the concept of coinage was here to stay. Trade routes shifted, and new powers rose in the Baltic. The influence from the west, particularly from Sweden, began to grow stronger. The era of hacking up Arabic coins was gradually replaced by the circulation of more familiar European currencies. This transition was not overnight. It was a long, messy process. But the seed had been planted. The journey from trading furs to using minted coins had begun, setting the stage for Finland's integration into the broader economic and political systems of Europe, a story told through the very metal that passed from hand to hand. For a very long time, if you were in Finland, you were spending Swedish money. From the Middle Ages all the way until 1809, Finland was part of the Kingdom of Sweden. This meant that the official currency was the Swedish riksdaler and its various subdivisions. There was no such thing as a Finnish coin. The money circulating in Turku or Viborg was identical to that used in Stockholm. It featured Swedish kings, Swedish coats of arms, and Swedish text. This monetary union reflected the political reality. Finland was not a separate entity, but an integral part of the Swedish realm. It was a period of shared history, shared laws, and shared money. Then, in 1809, everything changed. After a rather unpleasant war, Sweden had to cede Finland to Russia. Suddenly Finland was an autonomous Grand Duchy under the rule of the Russian Tsar. For the first few decades, the old Swedish riksdaler and the Russian ruble circulated side by side, creating a confusing and unstable monetary situation. It was a logistical nightmare. To stabilize the economy and assert a degree of local control, Tsar Alexander II made a historic decree in 1860. He authorized Finland to have its own currency, the Markka. It was a monumental step, giving the Grand Duchy a distinct economic identity for the first time. The first Finnish Markka coins were a fascinating blend of two worlds. On one side, they proudly displayed the Russian imperial double-headed eagle, a clear and unavoidable symbol of the Tsar's ultimate authority. It was a reminder of who was in charge. But on the other side, the coins showed the denomination in Finnish markka, or penny, and sometimes featured the Finnish lion coat of arms within the eagle's shield. This dual identity was a delicate political balancing act. The coins were a tangible representation of Finland's special status subordinate to Russia, yes, but with its own administration, its own language, and now, its own money. This period under Russian rule was paradoxical. While politically Finland was under foreign dominion, it was also a time when the foundations of a distinct Finnish national identity were laid. The marka became a powerful symbol of this burgeoning autonomy. It wasn't just a tool for commerce, it was a statement. Every time someone used a marka coin, they were participating in a uniquely Finnish economic system. It fostered a sense of national pride and unity, quietly paving the way for the ultimate dream of full independence. The coins were Russian by decree, but they were Finnish in spirit, a small but significant victory in the long journey toward nationhood. When Finland finally declared its independence in 1917, it was like a national exhalation. The country could finally be itself, and one of the first things to change was the money. The Russian double-headed eagle was kicked off the coins with considerable enthusiasm. In its place, the Finnish lion, a symbol of national courage and identity, took center stage. The new coins of the young republic were bold and unambiguous. They were exclusively Finnish. The designs were simple, featuring the lion, the denomination, and the year, surrounded by spruce twigs or other national symbols. It was a declaration in metal: "We are our own masters now." This patriotic fervor, however, soon ran into the harsh realities of the 20th century. During World War II, resources became incredibly scarce. Metals like copper, nickel, and silver, which were traditionally used for coinage, were desperately needed for the war effort. As a result, the Finnish mint had to get creative. Coins were suddenly made from cheaper materials like iron and even zinc. These wartime coins were often crudely struck and prone to rust, a grim reflection of the difficult times the nation was enduring. They were a temporary solution, a monetary placeholder born of necessity, symbolizing the sacrifice and resilience of the Finnish people during a period of intense struggle. After the war, Finland faced another enemy: crippling inflation. The value of the marka plummeted, and the old denominations became practically worthless. In 1963, a major currency reform was enacted. A new marka was introduced, which was equivalent to 100 of the old ones. This monetary reset was accompanied by a complete redesign of the coinage. The goal was to create a modern, stable, and visually coherent set of coins for a recovering nation. The post-war designs were clean and functional, moving away from the overt patriotism of the early republic toward a more understated and confident national aesthetic, signaling a new era of peace and reconstruction. The latter half of the 20th century saw the Finnish marka evolve into its final, most memorable form. The designs became a celebration of Finland's unique nature and culture. The 10 marka coin featured a capercaillie, the 5 marka coin a Saimaa-ringed seal, and the 50 penny coin a bear. Other coins showcased the lily of the valley flower or a dragonfly. These designs, created by talented artists like Olof Eriksson and Heikki Haivauja, were simple, elegant, and deeply Finnish. They connected the currency to the everyday lives and landscapes of the people, transforming pocket change into a miniature gallery of national symbols that were both modern and timeless. As the 21st century approached, Finland was looking toward its future, and that future was increasingly European. The nation had joined the European Union in 1995, and the next logical step was to adopt the single currency, the euro. The decision was not without debate. The marka was more than just money, it was a 140-year-old symbol of Finnish struggle, autonomy, and identity. Giving it up felt to some like surrendering a piece of the national soul. However, the economic and political arguments for joining the Eurozone were compelling. On January 1, 2002, the marka was officially replaced by the euro, and a new chapter in Finland's monetary history began. The transition to the euro was a massive logistical undertaking, but it also offered a unique opportunity. While the banknotes are the same across all Eurozone countries, each nation gets to design the national side of its own euro coins. This meant Finland could carry its symbols forward into the new European era. For its euro coins, Finland chose 3 distinct designs that were deeply rooted in its history and nature. It was a way of saying we are part of Europe, but we are still Finland. The designs selected were familiar, comforting, and instantly recognizable to any Finn, ensuring a sense of continuity, even amid such a monumental change. The 1 euro coin features 2 swans flying over a lake, a motif taken from a competition to commemorate the 80th anniversary of Finnish independence. The image, designed by Pertti Mäkinen, evokes the purity and vastness of the Finnish landscape. For the 2 euro coin, the cloudberry flower and fruit designed by Raimo Haino were chosen. This hardy Arctic berry represents the resilience and unique character of the Finnish north. And for the smaller denomination coins, from 1 to 50 cents, Finland chose to retain the iconic lion coat of arms, the very same symbol that had graced its first independent coins, linking the newest currency directly to the birth of the republic. The story of Finnish coins is, in essence, the story of Finland itself. It is a journey from a loose collection of tribes trading furs to a sovereign nation at the heart of Europe. Each coin is a historical artifact, a tiny metal disc that tells a tale of foreign rule, burgeoning autonomy, hard-won independence, wartime struggles, and modern integration. The transition from hack silver to Swedish riksdalers, from the Russian-era Markka to the coins of an independent republic, and finally to the euro, mirrors Finland's long and epic search for its place in the world. The coins in a Finn's pocket today are a testament to that journey, a symbol of a proud national identity coexisting within a united Europe.